Welcome to No Strings Attached Street Ministry. Little update. You know the park that I went out to last time. I told you that was the beginning of my ministry. You know, the YouTube channel. That's the park where that little boy went out in the wilderness and got lost. That Brian Laundrie or whatever it is. So went out there yesterday, and I didn't even realize that was even where it was at. Went out there yesterday, couldn't even get in. Police had done commandeered the whole place. I mean, there was probably 100 cars out there. Just drones and planes and stuff flying around. It was crazy. Those ATV machines, four-wheelers and things, they were all out there. It's pretty active. I don't think they ever found him, but anyway. It's a shame the little boy won't speak up, at least to let him know, let him know where he left the little girl at. That's the sad part about it. And plus, what is it doing to the van life community? Like sort of a bad taste in everybody's mouth. Of course, they're always looking for a reason to give us a bad rap anyway. But you know what? The way I look at it, there's a lot of good ones out there that's making some news too. And that's where we have to stand up, and be more active in the communities. At least let the policemen know who we are and what we are, and show them that, hey, we're good people out here. It's not just a bunch of riffraffs hanging around in vans. We are good people that do a lot of good things, and hopefully they can look past all this nonsense. Of course, you have bad people in just about everything out there, but when it hits a community like that's new, like the tiny house community or things like that, people that are, it's a new movement, they always tend to get the bad rap because one or two bad people, create havoc while they're there. Sort of makes a bad rep for everybody. So don't let this happen to our community. Stand up against that. Don't spread rumors, and make sure you see someone acting stupid while you're out there in the van. Speak up and let them know that that you're watching them as well. Put a stop to this crap, because there's it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of good things, good memories for a lot of people, and we need to protect that. As for say, hey, I got my generator running. Took me all day yesterday to rework the box and get it set up to where I can actually get it in there. It's a little bit bigger than the other one, so I had to do a few other things to make sure it was secure and locked. Instead of welding it together in the front and the top, I used padlocks with the bars. That way I can easily unlock it and pull it in and out a lot easier than it was before. And it seems like it's all working well. So I did the break-in thing on it yesterday. I ran it for a 4-hour trip with no load. And after it finished off, I let it cool down. Then I started it back up, and I ran it at the normal load that I would normally run it at for 4 hours. And let it run there on and off, cycling on and off and everything for 4 hours, and I shut it down again. And then I ran it up on as much as I could. I put my heater on and my air conditioner, and I charged my batteries, my battery bank with my charger. I had my TV on. I had the refrigerator in here on. I had the little wine cooler that I have, it was on. Pulling as much amps as I possibly could, with the van. And I was pumping around, probably around 1800 watts, probably. I mean, I had it working pretty hard. And let it run till it ran out of gas, believe it or not. And total run time, let's see, it got 4.8, and it probably ran another 9 hours. So I would say Wait a minute, I'll tell you exactly what it was. $17 hours total, and that was all 3 tests, and that's ran it completely dry. It had no more gas in it. Went back to fill it up. It was 1.1 gallons to fill it up. $3, and that was with no ether in the gas, you know. That was premium, and it was $3.54 a gallon. So it was like $3.60, you know, $3.70, you know, $3.70 to fill it up. So 18 hours, that's pretty good, man, believe it or not. I mean, and now today I filled it all up. I'm gonna let it run all the way through just to let it and see how much it'll run out and how long it would take to run that. It gives you an estimated time when it's pulling it pulls 630 watts with the air conditioner on, and charging my Ryobi battery and my phone and a few other things, you know, and my inverter and stuff is on. And it's like 630 watts. It says it runs 10.5 hours, or 10.5 hours is what it said, estimated runtime, you know, for a full tank of gas. But then when the air conditioner shuts off, it jumps up to like 19. So then it comes back on. My air conditioner is on a thermostat, so once it reaches temperature, it'll bounce on and off. And when it does, that generator just runs up when it kicks on and runs back down. It's running on eco mode. Even with the full load of 1800, it would run full blast at that. But when, you know, on any other test that I ran on it, it was always in eco mode. So I think in the winter time with the heater running, it would, you know, most likely stay in the full-time run. But even with that on, it still give an estimated of 8 hours of run time. So it's going to get you through the night. Even if it is 8 hours. But I think it would even be more than that. I mean, I've been very happy with the efficiency of this little thing. It's amazing. The only problem that I've been having is it losing contact with my cell phone. It runs off Bluetooth, and for some reason it like loses its connection. And I mean, if you walk over 50 feet away, it loses connection. I understand that, but with my cell phone right in the same van, you know, as where the generator is, it's no more than 10 feet away from the generator at all times. So it shouldn't really lose the connection on that. So I'm going to check online, see maybe if there's an upgrade for the software or something, you know, that might cure that. That's about the only thing that I've noticed with that. After this runtime here, I'm going to be pulling out the oil and do an oil change. It's just got the original first oil that they supplied with it. And at that time I'll look and see what I want to do and what kind of oil I want to use. I'll probably go with a synthetic oil. Might even put some Lucas in it. I've always been very happy and satisfied with Lucas, but I don't know how Lucas would work in a small engine. I want to use it in the cars. But the thing is that Lucas sort of like holds the oil on the components. I'm worried about it overheating it because it's holding it on there. And that's why they have the 5W30 and all that stuff now. When the engine gets real hot, that velocity goes way down. That way it just sort of drips off real fast. It's not hanging on there. I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know the science to that. So, I don't know. Give you your thoughts. Maybe someone out there is more of an oil expert than I am. Well, I think a 10-year-old boy would probably be more of an expert at than I am, but who knows? I mean, you never know what people know out there. We've all got our specialties, right? But yeah, I've been very, very happy with the way it's running. Seems like it handles the van perfectly. Yesterday's temperature was 92 degrees. So at 92 degrees, it kept my inside of my van at 64. That's the temperature that I ran it. This temperature that it's at now too is at 64. And it's digital, so you know it'll always get there. Once it achieves that temperature, yeah, it's pretty nippy in here, believe it or not. I mean, you know, it's definitely not something you want to wear your bikini in, you know. But it's you know, for a big guy like me that sweats like a pig in Florida, it does a great job. I mean, it kept me very comfortable. And when I was sitting in the van, it was so cool. I actually had the window halfway down on the driver's side because I was smoking and doing things in and out, and it still maintained that temperature. Of course, had the curtains pulled, but it still kept the front of the van nice and comfortable as well. It seemed like it allowed it to heat up a little bit better in the front seat when I had the curtains closed. But by the time I opened the curtains up, within just a few minutes, it was back all the way through the van. You know, it was comfortable. But I let it run through all those tests, and the temperature that it was set at was 64, and it was cycling on and off, so I know it was achieving that. Like I said, that's a perfect setup for a situation, especially in a van. You know, the way I look at it, why suffer and why run like those, even those, you know, the little propane heaters, and deal with all the moisture and everything else you have to deal with, and little buddy heaters and things. It just seems like it would be miserable, you know, trying to deal with that all the time. I have this one here. It's a heat and cool. It's air conditioning with electric heat. It's a 1200 watt electric heater built into the air conditioner, and that's what I run through. That's what's running. And like I said, it runs perfect. Heats it very well. I mean, it'll run you right out of here. It got so hot yesterday. I mean, I had all the windows open, the doors open. I still couldn't barely even come in here. That's how hot it was. It was like 100, 200 degrees, man. It was ridiculous hot. But it worked. And so I'm sure, you know, even in the worst conditions up north, it would still work. I had it when I first put this in. I had it running on my old generator. I was in Fort Wayne, Indiana that year, or that time, and it was, it probably had 8 inches of snow on the ground, and I bet it was probably like 2 or 3 degrees outside. It was cold. And I mean, it was so hot in here, you couldn't even bear it. I mean, it was ridiculously hot. I mean, I could heat it up and you'll walk around in your underwear, you know, and not even have a blanket on when you're sleeping. I mean, it was that, you know, that kept it that warm. And in that temperature, that's pretty good. That's what you're really looking for. I mean, I didn't really pay attention to what temperature it was, but I know it was probably way up in the 70s, like 78, 79 degrees, at least that. But yeah, it's let's see, the air conditioner just reached temperature and it just cycled back down. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but it's just a real soft hum. I mean, it's just something the way you just barely hear it when it runs. So far I've been extremely tickled with the way this thing is performing in here, and I'm hoping and praying to get the same kind of use and luck that I've had out of this one. You know, it'd be perfect. So we're gonna see what happens. But so far, it did pretty good. I didn't have an hours meter on the old generator. I wish I did, because I mean, it was for 7 years, so it would have been nice to know exactly how long it would last. Sorry, someone just walked by. You're walking their dog. I mean, but it's thousands of hours, I'm sure. I mean, it was that much. I figured I would run it 8-10 hours a day. Quite a many days over the years. I mean, I wasn't full-time, living in it, but when I was running it full blast, at least for a month at a time. And it never failed, and that's a lot of abuse for a generator. Usually generators are meant for just short-term type use, here and there type stuff. But these systems here are built for construction sites, small construction sites. And if you've ever built any houses on construction sites, those generators, they run pretty much all day for at least 8-10 hours every day. I mean, that's the kind of cycle and use that they get. And that's what these construction workers, they tack them out. They tack them out pretty hard. So they're all built to handle at least that. And for emergency case electric, hurricanes come by, knock the power out. These people are running it for 24 hours a day for a month probably, and they're working fine even in the heat. There, it just kicked back up again. You see how it just sort of idles right back down to nothing. So that's the problem that I have, and you might be able to hear it 3 car lengths away. It's not that loud at all. It's very pleasant. I mean, you could talk right around it. I mean, the air conditioning almost drowns it out, just the air conditioning work. You can actually hear the air conditioning working, and it's a rotary compressor, so it's just a little whine ting to it. You hear more of the fan slapping the water in the bottom. That's how it cools the back coil off, is it pulls the water around it, and then the blade will pick it up and throw that water onto the coil, and you'll hear that blade flapping around in the water, as it's slinging it up onto the coil. But yeah, if you ever really want to get serious about it and be in comfort, go for it. Especially if you have animals, this is a perfect idea for animals. I mean, to keep yourself totally comfortable and your animals comfortable, even if you had to spend 2 gallons of gas a day, it's still worth it. You got to realize 1 gallon of gas a day, you're looking at what, $90 a month. Any apartment that you've ever lived in, your utility bill is going to be at least $90 a month. I don't care where you're at. But if you're in Florida and you use electric, and your utility bills, even for a 1-2 bedroom apartment, still going to be that or even more. Lord, my house is $326 a month on an average. So, that's just for a 3-bedroom house. I can imagine what a small apartment would be. Even if it was half, it's still $150. So even if you took the $150 it would take for your electric, and you applied it towards your electric bill and the generator and gas, and consider that your electricity, you'd be able to pay for your gas bill and still pocket 60, 80, $100 a month. You'll be able to pocket, just for a new generator. And I bet within a year and a half, you're going to have enough to replace this generator again. So even if something did happen, or if you did wear it completely out, and it didn't last that long, you you're still coming out. So what? You buy a new generator. You know, it's like throwaway items. You know. At least you'll be able to save that and put that money towards that. So if you plan on doing this as a full time, and you're planning on van life, gas is going to be your biggest expense, no matter what you do. It's like yesterday, I filled up my generator, I filled up my van, and I filled up a 5-gallon gas can. Now the gas can I used premium, no ethanol, and my generator I had premium, no ethanol. That's only for the generator. So that's 6 gallons of gas went for that, and the rest of it went into the van, and I was completely empty. I just ran out of gas. I mean, I took the last gallon that was in my jerry can, dumped it in just to get to the gas station, so it was completely empty. And it was $97. Top, cost me to top everything completely up. That's a big expense. And for my van, I'll be getting probably 275 miles around town type driving. I usually average about 275 a tank. It's about where I'm at. So, what is that, like 10, 11 miles a gallon? If that. Do the numbers on it, I guess. But like I said, and I do that once a week, so. But I drive an awful lot. I do. I drive 200-300 miles every week. Sometimes even more. So my expense is probably $400 to $600 a month just in fuel. Then I got the insurance for the van and my cell phone. My cell phone is on a plan with my family, so I'm not sure what that runs. About $1,200 for insurance. But like I said, and with my van, I mean, I got a lot of miles on it. It's an older van, and I got a ton of miles on it. I mean, a ton of miles. I'm a whole lot different than 90% of you out there in the way that my van is and the way it's set up. The thing is I take very, very good care of this van. Anything's needed, it gets done as soon as I can possibly afford to get it done. I mean, I take extremely good care. This van is in such good shape and good condition. I would feel very comfortable driving it to Alaska and back, and wouldn't even have to do nothing but put gas in it, throw my suitcase in the back, and drive off. I mean, it's that reliable, and I would have no hesitation in doing so. But that's, I feel, the way that you all should keep all your vans. Don't let something just go. Do it as a maintenance, and schedule that in, like belts and things like that. I mean, these are things that can break and cause other problems, so stay on that. I mean, you're driving that van, you always want to stop, so make sure your brakes are in very good condition at all times. Don't never let anything go. I mean, if you keep your brakes in good shape and change your pads once in a while, you don't have no problems with bad rotors and stuff like that. You don't even have to give them turned, that's because they're in that good shape. Just throw the pads on. I throw pads on this one here about every 35,000 miles. I'll pull the wheels off, throw the pads on, and go. I do that almost as a scheduled maintenance. It's just something that I do. Of course, I can do it myself, so it's not too expensive. It's only like $25, to do the brake pads at that point. But yeah, but at least I know my brakes are in excellent condition. So if you're going to drive your van or your car, I mean, take good care of it. I mean, that's an investment you spend a lot of money on, a lot of time, and it's taking good care of you. So you turn around and take good care of it back. It's almost like a good relationship. You know, a relationship. If she's going to take care of you, you take care of her back and do more than what she could ever do for you. It's just the way it's supposed to be. But yeah, I've been dealing with a lot of well, the girls down here is having a hard time right now. This drug situation is just getting out of hand, man. This fentanyl. I mean, I lost 4 of them well, not this week, but last week. 4 of them in 1 week. 2 guys and 2 girls. It's just sad. I don't know what in the world. The ones that I know of, they say they're on heroin. But as far as I understand it, it's all being laced with this fentanyl stuff. And everything is being laced with this fentanyl. And this fentanyl is, I guess, what's killing everybody. Then you do research on it, you can't really find out what it is and what it's even made of. It's like they're pulling everything they can from underneath the kitchen sink just to cut this stuff. I mean, they put Drano and crap in there, really? Rat poisoning and all kinds of nonsense crap out there. Yeah, I heard they even put hot chocolate mix in it sometimes. Really? And you're going to shoot this up your arm? Yeah. Are you crazy? Yeah, they say even the high is not the same. Well, no wonder it's not the same. I mean, Lord, you've done changed the compound. You're not going to get the same high as you used to. You're just not. That's like taking marijuana and then adding hash to it. It changes the whole dynamics of it. I don't understand it, but I mean, I can't judge them because I was that way myself. So I have passion for them. I love them. I hate the disease. I hate the addiction. I do. I hate all the addictions because I'm strapped with addictions myself. So I know exactly how hard it is for addictions. And if you're an addictive natured person like myself, it gets almost ridiculous how to deal with all that. So I can't hate the person, and I hope no one hates me. I mean, I have addictions, yes, but you're not going to find anyone that will love you any more than you do with me. I mean, I'll love a total stranger more than anybody else in their whole life they've ever experienced. That's just who I am. That's what I am, and I'm there forever. I'm there even through the thick and the thin. I'm still there. Yes, I get abused a lot because of that. I do. But it's okay. God keeps telling me, love them anyway. Love them anyway. No strings attached. No strings attached. I can't quit loving them. That's a string. I can't hold anything against them. I gotta love them for who they are. I'm not enabling them by loving them. People said, you're just enabling them. I'm not enabling them. I'm protecting them. I'm giving them hopefully hope. I'm giving them something that they've never had before. And that's someone that truly cares. That's someone that's always truly there for them. The very minute that they need my help and assistance, I'm there for them because I want them to realize eventually, and they do, eventually they do get it, that I'm the only person in their life that actually has ever been there, no matter what. No matter how mean and how nasty that they've been to me, I've always still loved them with all I have. And they eventually finally get it. And it changes them. It changes them who they are. I mean, I've seen successes big time with all of this. I really have, and that's what keeps my hope going and keeps me going. And as long as I follow what God is telling me and the steps that He's telling me to do for these people, I see success. I see more success as just a one-man operation that's flat broke and have a very hard time struggling just to survive myself. But yet I can see more change in what I've done for them than some of these big major corporations that has millions of dollars backing them. Yeah, they might be able to throw food at them or clothing at them, but so do I. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the people like yourselves that help donate once in a while, that adds up. You know why it adds up? Because I take every single penny of it and I spend it wisely when I do. I don't just go blow on a bunch of crap. I spend it for exactly what's needed and only exactly what's needed. So thank you, angels, the ones that's out there helping me out. I can't do it without you. I really can't. I mean, without you, I would stop and cease to exist myself, because it's gotten that bad with my own situation as well. I no longer can work, so I'm no longer able to make my own money and fund this on my own. I still do anything and everything that I could possibly do, but my physical health has been down for a while here, and I just haven't been able to do anything. So if you feel like helping the ministry, by all means, please do, because right now, it needs you more critically now than it has ever needed you. Because there's a lot of me that what I've done is a void right now, and it's really made a major difference on what I can do to help, and a major difference, and that hole has not been filled. But by all means, if you have something you can do to offer to help, please do so. I mean, I beg you, implore you, to do what your heart tells you to do, and listen to God's word in the process. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a light up on the generator and how it's been working, how I've been testing it, what my hopes and prayers for it is going to be. So far, everything is perfect, and it's a perfect setup for anybody. It charges my battery bank up. My battery bank, I can run my batteries. My batteries alone will run the van for 4 hours all by itself without the generator. So real late at night, I'll usually just turn it over on batteries and run the AC and everything, because then all it's running is the AC at that time. So I'll run it, and I can run it for about 4 to 6 hours before it sounds the alarm. But that's just on the battery bank itself. But then, like I said, the next day, I can throw my charger. I got a charger that's wired directly into it, one of the big chargers, and I throw it on like this engine start mode, which is like, it's actually 49 amps, and it pumps 49 amps into it like for 45 minutes, and then it'll switch down to 10 amps. But then I'll just turn it back up and hit it again. I usually hit it twice, and then about an hour and a half after it finally cycles back down, it usually tops it off at 10 amps in about an hour and a half. So it's about maybe 3 hours to top it all off. It's not that awful hard. It's not that much. So that's sort of what I do there now. But yeah, just like I said, it's something to think about. I mean, it's not that bad of an investment. I mean, the total setup for doing that, you're probably looking $800. I think that's what the generator was when I looked it up online. It was like something like $800. So I figured $800 for the generator. Air conditioner at that time was $430, I think it was, when I bought it. That was actually bought for me as well. That was a gift. But price was that was there when I got the receipt for that one, so I can get that receipt if I ever have a problem. But probably another $100 to install everything in parts and supplies. If you wanted the battery bank, I've got 4 deep cycle marine batteries. I think they're 115 amp deep cycle marine batteries in there. I got 4 of those, and they're all ran in parallel. So it's like 500 and something amp hours. So like I said, it burns it holds quite a bit. If I had 500 or 400 amp hours in lithium batteries, it would almost like double it, you know, on what I could actually get out of it. But hey, you know, it's too expensive. I can't afford the lithium batteries. If there's a lithium battery company out there that wants to sponsor me, hey, by all means do so. I'd love to have them. Because my ultimate goal would be to be able to put this on lithium and only use the generator enough to charge everything. That'd be perfect. That'd be a perfect setup. Talk about stealth at that point, you know, it would be almost perfect. But anyway, stealth is only, it's a myth anyway. Because honestly, as a stealth, if people see you going in and out of a van and you start looking suspicious, then they're going to start questioning you and you're going to get in trouble. But if your van's set up to where it looks like it's supposed to be lived in and you're in and out and walking around and doing things in your van, they look right past you. They know that you're supposed to be there. If you're just in a plain old white van and you're in and out of it, sneaking around and snooping around the outside of it, you're going to look suspicious as people are looking out saying, hey man, that guy's getting ready to break in that guy's van. They don't know who you are. They don't know that that's your van. So always think about that, especially at night. I mean, it's just something that you don't do, you know. That's like when when you're out just drinking or having a party or just out for dinner or using the bathroom and showering or whatever you do during the day and evening. Go on and do what you do elsewhere. But when it's actually time, brush your teeth, everything, and change your clothes, get right down into your pajamas, you know. Put on your Mickey Mouse flip-flops. Get all ready. The very minute you get ready, then you drive to where you're going to stay. And you set yourself up, whatever you have to do, you climb in the back, turn the lights off, and go to bed. Period. And that's what you do. The very second you wake up, you're back in the driver's seat before you even make your coffee. Back up, driver's seat, start your van up, drive somewhere else, even if it's a half a mile. Stop, side of the road, pull off, make your coffee, do whatever you have to, brush your teeth, use the potty. Do whatever you have to do, and then you start your day going to different places, doing different things, parks or whatever you can do. But never, ever, ever do anything like that where you're sleeping. Never stay anywhere while you're sleeping. Never hang out where you're sleeping. Unless you're out in the wilderness and you're camping. I mean, if you're out in the desert or something and you're out in the wilderness and you're staying there for a week, that's fine. Open it all up, set your tables out, set up your cook stuff, and enjoy your time while you're there. Go swim in the river or the lake. Have a blast. But if you're looking at city living or city dwelling and stuff like that, it's just something you just don't do. Walmart's not a camp spot. It's a sleep spot. Respect it as that. Down here in Florida, sleep. When you get up, no, I don't care if it's even early in the morning. If you get up, go to the beach, park in the beach parking spot. Cops come by and say, yeah, I'm just getting ready for the beach today. You know, just sitting here getting dressed, making me a cup of coffee, trying to wake up, get ready for the day, gonna have a blast. Usually invite them to have a cup of coffee with you. Hey, usually just laugh at you and drive off, you know. Hey, have a great day. Don't even bother you. I've done that even before. People come up and say, well, why are you here so early in the morning? I'm a sunrise guy. I love watching sunrises. And sunrise peaks up right over that tree right there, right through those houses. And it's one of the prettiest sights you ever see. Sit right here and watch it. You'll see the big poles from the sailboats flying around right there. And sure enough, they come back around that time, and they're like, yeah, it is a very pretty spot, you know. And since that ever happened, the guy never bothers me again. He's the one that proposes it right there and patrols that area. But, no, that's just, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to show up there at 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, but I will show up there 20, 30 minutes before sunrise, because I like it right at daybreak. That's when I go out. It's not so much the sunrise, it's the light of day, the break of day. From that point to sunrise, that's, to me, is the prettiest time of the morning. That's when the clouds and the sky does its dance. That's when the Lord paints you a beautiful picture every single day. So, enjoy that. Because if you start your day off like that, then you'll never have a bad day, trust me. You might have some bad things happen that day, but you can never claim you had a bad day because you had that beginning. So that's the way I look at it. But anyway, just another little video just to tell you I love you guys and hang out there. Give you a little update on this new generator and how it's working. So, alrighty, I guess I'm done. If you'd like to help, all the description will be in the down in the description area. I'll put my PayPal information and also my Cash App information. If you'd like to help donate to me, you can. Feel free to reach out to me any way you want. I mean, my phone number, address is all plastered all over these videos somewhere. Just look in the descriptions, and some of them they got addresses and some of them phone numbers and some of them, so it's not like you can't find me. But with all the new phone crap going on, with all these spam, all the scams and everything, if you do call me, I'll most likely not answer because I don't know who you are. Leave a message, your name and a phone number, and I will return your call. That way I know that you're real and you're a real person. Because you answer them scams one time and you're on a list, and they'll bug the crap out of you. So that's why I don't answer them. Eventually they just quit calling, you know, but I get an average of 20, 30 of them a day. And it gets very aggravating, you know. Well, at least my phone will tell me in advance that it's a scam or something, but sometimes it sneaks through. So like I said, anybody out there that watches my channel, you are more than welcome to communicate with me. I love that. You can text my phone number. It's all on my cell phone, so you can send me a text even. That's even perfect. I have no problem with that. I'll love you and text right back with you. And you'll end up getting a pen pal that, you know, you'll fall in love with. Trust me, I believe that. That's all I got. Have a great day, guys. I love you. Talk to you later.